Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to our PUBG tutorials. In this tutorial, we're going to be handling inventory management part 2. And in inventory management part 2, we're going to be dealing with the ratio that you should have in your backpack in regards to meds, ammo, and utility items. We're also going to get a little bit more into knowing your loadout, and we're also going to get into some looting tips. So to begin with, we will be dealing with level 2 backpacks and level 2 vests just because they're the most common items that you're going to find, and it's going to be in the situation that you'll find yourself in most of the time. So we're going to be dealing with that type of restriction as far as our loadout goes, or our inventory goes. To begin, we're going to deal with the AR-SR combo. One mistake I see a lot of players making is that they like to have too much ammo in their inventory from the get-go, or even late in game, and sometimes it's not necessary. Through my PUBG career, after I started getting a little bit better and getting a high kill count, good win percentage, I was thinking to myself, how can I be a little bit more effective, efficient with everything that I do? And I started with my inventory. So I've developed a few ratios that'll help keep your inventory balanced and ready for anything. Starting off with the AR weaponry. It's good to keep somewhere between 200 to 250 rounds of ammo, not including what's in your magazine. I see there's a lot of players that like to have 300, 350 rounds in there, and it's honestly it's a little bit excessive, and I'll tell you why. It's excessive because from the get-go in phase 1, let's just say you have 350 rounds, and you're ready to go, right? If you're behind in the storm, or if you get caught in the storm, or if you get into a fight, chances are you are not going to have enough meds to to get yourself right and ready for the next situation. A lot of players think, well, if I get into a fight, I have meds, I got a first aid, I got a painkiller, I'm good. But people need to think ahead. In a lot of times in battle royales, it's not all of it is about the first fight. It's about the immediate fight after, or the third party, or some unforeseen issue that you're dealing with, and that's what you should be prepared for. The more prepared you are in future, the better you'll be in the present. So you have 350 rounds of ammo, you get into a fight, you survive the fight, you're healing up. Now maybe you got a med kit, a first aid kit left and like one painkiller or an energy drink or something of that nature, right? Let's just say it was a long fight with the opponent doesn't have anything in their loot either. Boom, immediately you get into another fight, or there was a third party that comes in. You have enough ammo, but do you think you will have enough to handle the damage that you're taking? Especially because, let's be honest, your first encounter more than likely either wrecked your vest and helmet, or it caused significant damage, which means that next fight you're getting into is going to cause more damage than the first fight is. You might even get knocked, and you're going to have to heal up in order to survive. This is why having that much ammo off the bat isn't a good idea, especially because you're not going to use all 350 rounds right then. Yes, you may use it during the course of the match, but if you're using a weapon that uses common ammo like 5.56, 7.62, it's a good chance you're going to find that along the way. There's a good chance that you may find meds, but it's more common that you're going to find ammo than you're going to find meds. So therefore, keep your ammo low, keep it within the 200 to 250 range. Let me actually show you what that looks like. So we're going to put an extended mag on our M4, and we're going to get a decent amount of ammo in here. Alright, so if we load this up, you're going to see that we have 42 rounds in our clip, and we have 228 in reserve. That's great. Perfect amount. You have 5-6 clips worth of ammo, you're good. You can pick up ammo along the way, but let's just say you get into a fight and you wind up using 80 rounds of ammo. You're still left with about 180 rounds, 190 rounds. That's great. That's still really, really good. And 80 bullets, think about it, it's like 2 clips worth. Sounds feasible, but you still have room for everything else that you have. You may have a lot of meds and stuff like that to help fill out your inventory. Let's get down to the sniper rifle. Another thing is that people like to have 100 rounds or more in their sniper rifle, and I never understood it, because I don't care how many kills you got in a game, how long the game was. Name me, you could probably count on one hand, name me the amount of games that you shot 100 rounds of a sniper rifle ammo. More than likely never. So why keep it that much? Especially because sniper rifles usually carry 7.62, which is a heavy ammo. It takes a lot more capacity from your inventory than 5.56 does, or 45s, or 9mm, or whatever your other weapon is using. So why carry that much? A good amount is to keep probably about 45 in your sniper rifle. Somewhere between 45 and 70 in your sniper rifle. 70 is still a little bit excessive. It'll last you the entire game, but it's, having 30 extra rounds on a one-shot weapon is far different than having 100, 150 extra rounds on a multi-shot weapon like your AR. It's not going to kill you. So in this situation, we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of 7.62 here. We might have did a little bit too much, yeah. Let's knock this down. We'll knock it down to 45, that's fine. So we're going to have 5 bullets in the gun, and we're going to have 40 in reserve. Now if we look at our backpack right now, let me pick up some more of that 5.56. If it's still there, no, I'm going to get some more, because I want to show you what the backpack capacity looks like. Okay, so now we have about 250 rounds total of M4 ammo, or 5.56 ammo, and about 45 of 7.62. And we've used, if you look at the bar that's to the right of your inventory, right? You see where it has white and gray. The white represents how much you've used. You've used probably about 30% of your inventory, and you're already good on ammo. Now imagine what you can fill with the rest of that. What we're going to be filling it with, let's start with meds, right? A good ratio that I found with meds is that it's about somewhere between 4 to 6 first aid kits, and always 2 more painkillers than energy drinks. So let's just go ahead and fill ourselves up with a little bit of that. We're going to go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to go with 6 painkillers, and we're going to go with 4 energy drinks. That's what I mean about that two more painkillers than energy drinks ratio. If you have 5 painkillers, you should have about 3 energy drinks. If you have 6 painkillers, have about 4, and yada yada. So looking at this, right, this is a great balance, because not only can, usually everybody uses a painkiller and energy drink to get their bar full. That's usually what it's going to be, right? Even if we sat here and used this to get our bar full, we still have a great amount in reserve. The one thing that you want to keep in mind is that painkillers always take longer than energy drinks, right? And that's because they heal a lot more than energy drinks do. But in the situations where, when you're stagnant, it doesn't matter. When you're just sitting out here and you're either waiting for the storm or you're in a good position and you're just scouting, it doesn't matter what you're using, because quickness is not a problem at that point. When it is a problem is when you're in the heat of the battle and you're really trying to heal up because the enemy took a little bit from you, and you're trying to fight through it. When you're hiding behind a rock and someone's shooting at you, having slightly more painkillers than energy drinks is better, because it's going to take you, even though it'll heal up a little bit more, it'll take you 2 energy drinks to get to where the painkiller will put you, right? The painkiller is when you've just finished off a guy. Maybe you knocked the guy, he gave you a little bit of damage, you're behind a rock, pop a painkiller, right? Get ready for the next fight, or get ready for the next battle, because your team is still fighting. Energy drinks would be better in a situation when either you've already finished off everybody, or maybe you saw one guy and the other guys aren't really pushing, or they're not really engaging your team or yourself. Okay, the energy drinks you could pop off in a quickness and get going. That's why it's good to have that type of setup. If you have more energy drinks than painkillers, it's not a bad thing per se, especially because they're light, but it's just a little bit of a better ratio, right? This when we talk about other items such as your ammo and your utilities. Now the first aids, I'd probably say 6 maximum, and it's because they can get heavy, and you don't always have enough time to pop off a first aid. You don't. When you're in a fight, the boosts are your best bet. First aids are great if you're taking a lot of damage, you really don't have another choice. But 9 times out of 10, if you're dealing with one enemy and the next one is coming up quickly, your first aid is going to take how much? 6 seconds or so to get off. You're going to wind up losing time that you could have been engaging with, where a boost would have just did you better at that moment. Now, if your health is low, I get it. You're going to have to do it. You don't have a choice. But when it's heat of the moment, you're half health, just go with the boost. Now, the other thing that we need to take into account when it comes to our inventory is utilities. And by utilities, I mean things like grenades, smoke grenades, frag grenades. We're looking at, possibly bicycles, things like that, other things that had help. So right now, we're at 5 painkillers, 3 energy drinks and 5 first aids, and we still got all our ammo intact. Great. Let's go ahead and add a couple grenades. We're gonna go to throwables, and we're gonna add ourselves about 3 frag grenades, right? And then maybe a smoke grenade. Where am I looking at for that? Not sure they have it. That's fine. Now, remember, when you're dealing with utility items, right, you're going to get a free slot. You get a free slot that does not affect your inventory. So you have a frag grenade in here and two in the inventory slot. Great. You have 3 grenades total. Only one's counting towards your inventory slot. Now, it's the same with other grenades and stuff, obviously. So having somewhere between 3 and 4 of one grenade, hopefully it's lethal, is a good thing. And lethals make sense because lethals stop you from having to use your ammo for the most part. They either help you pin down opponents, they help you kill opponents, they can do damage even if you're low on ammo. So these help round out that discrepancy of having 150 more rounds of 5.56, if you catch my drift. Right? So you may have this, and you may also have, let's see, where are the mollies and stuff? I do not know if they have that type of thing. For some reason, they don't seem to have it, and that's fine. So we're just going to use grenades as the example. And okay. So right now we're kind of maxed up at this moment. We have 2 frag grenades, 1 in the inventory slot. Hypothetically speaking, it'd be great to drop one of these grenades, have just, you know, one of these and maybe a smoke or maybe a molly, something to give you a little diversity, stun, whatever it is that you want. But having, you know, 3 to 4 throwables is good, you know, to balance out the rest of your inventory slots. With this type of setup that you see here, you're pretty much prepared for anything. Anything. You have enough ammo to take care of a team, heal afterwards. You have grenades to help stave off a team. Even if you get third party, you still have enough in your inventory to do the rest of what you need to do. And then you can go ahead and loot and do this. But another thing that's important is that when you're looting, it's important to remember to try to keep this ratio. Don't get overzealous and, you know, pick up 5 more first aids so you have a total of 9 or 10 first aids. You know, use the ability to sit here and grab a little bit. When you use this ability, right, which is basically either holding square for PS5, PS4, or X for Xbox, they're automatically going to cut whatever you're trying to pick up in half. So if you have 110 rounds of 5.56 on the floor, you're going to pick up 55. That's the way it is. And you can increase it by 10 using the D-pads, or you can increase it by 1 using left or right on the D-pads. So pick up only what you need. Pick up what it needs to do it. You know, it doesn't always have to be great math, you know, especially when it's the heated situation. You know, it's phase 5. You just finished off a team, storms on your back. I just need a little bit of ammo. Cool. You know, but be a little conscious of what you're picking up so you don't pick up too much stuff. All right. Now, this gets down to, let's get down to looting since we're talking about it. Tips on looting. And by looting in this form is what I mean is that you already have a bunch of stuff in your inventory. You know, you got your loadout, you're gunning it down, you're ready. This is mid game, late game, whatever the case is. While you're looting, time is of the essence, and it's important to try to keep your head up while looting. And because this helps you look for whoever's around you, right, and see things. If you're down and looting, you're not seeing anything that's happening. Somebody could be running up right here, and you're gonna get hit because you're not looking at it. The way that you avoid this is that how things are positioned on the floor kind of makes a difference. So if you have a painkiller here, maybe a first aid or a energy drink here, and a frag here, right? How you're looking at things is important. You can still get down to about here, right? Notice where I'm at. Notice where the pickup painkiller thing came up. Right about here, I can still see what's in front of me, but I can still pick up as well. I don't have to go all the way down here just to look at a frag grenade and pick it up, unless I'm trying to ping it for a teammate or something of that nature. I can still pick it up, right? The other thing to know is that using the vicinity column of your inventory menu is important as well, because these items stack a specific way. So if you are conscious of your ratio and you know by looking at your inventory column what you need to keep your ratio complete but still giving everything you need, things like first aids go over boosts, go over utilities, go over ammo. Ammo is almost always at the bottom. Let's actually throw in, Yeah, if we throw in attachments, this is how it goes. So if you don't believe me, I'll go and pick up all this stuff, right? And I'm gonna drop it in a random order. We're gonna go grenade, painkiller, ammo, first aid, attachment. Same order. First aids, boosts, attachments, throwables or utilities, and 7.62 or ammo. The only things that supersede these things are special items like bikes, I think, self-reses, what else? Security keys, like keys for opening, secret locations. Those things will almost all will be at the top of on the ground on the vicinity column, and also at the top of your inventory. So it's not only is this important just so you know how to sim through the menu and pick up things quickly, but it also for usage. If I'm running, boom, I just got shot, I just finished off a guy, great. I know that as soon as I press my start and shift over, the first thing I'm gonna get is to my first aids. I know that I can do that quickly, and I'm healing and watching what's going on. I don't have to sit here and run through the menu and figure out where things. I know where things are, right? Another thing that helps a lot is when you're looting, right? Let's see. I wish I can get. Let me see if I can get a decent amount of stuff in the menu here, right? Okay. This is, simulating basically a loot box. You just killed somebody and you're looking at their box, right? Using your triggers to bounce up and down the menu. You see how I can bounce in the middle of the menu down? Boom, this is big. Because when you have a couple loot boxes stacked on top of each other, or you have a bunch of loot where it's more than, the page can fit, you're sitting up there and drilling through this quickly. And because you know the order, right, you know that it's first aids, boosts, throwables, ammo, and weapons at the bottom, and pans and stuff like that, you know by your ratio, keeping that in mind, what you need. I like that gun, boom, I'm going instantly to the bottom, picking this up. Instantly, I'm picking this up, I'm picking this up, I'm picking this up. I know this. I need a heal, boom, I'm sitting there, quickly going to my menu healing. I know these things. These are things you want to get familiar with, because the quicker that you are with that, the more time you have to look around you and deal with the situation, know what's coming. But if you spend all your time, if you're hovering over an item for like, or a stack of items for like 45 seconds, a minute, shifting through things, you're thinking too much. You're doing too much, because that is crucial time that you could be using. First phase, second phase doesn't really matter. You're getting down to the meat and potatoes of it, the last phase where you really want to win, where grind time comes in. These seconds are crucial. Crucial. Keep that in mind. The last thing is, knowing your loadout a little bit more helps in certain situations. I am a big M4 user, right? I'm a huge M4 user, but I know that there are plenty of, well, not plenty, but there's a few more guns that fit the same type of spectrum that I'm looking here, the same type of muzzle attachments, vert grips, whatever. One thing that I like to do is, if I can't find my M4, but I'm finding my mags, I'm finding the grip I want, the sight I want, all that, I'm trying to find myself either a barrel or an ace. Or if it's like a SCAR, whatever, another 5.56 weapon, great. But I'm trying to find something that's going to match up with this, and mostly with the tac stock thing, because I have 6 options available here. Because let's go ahead and equip this M4 with everything we need. We're gonna go ahead with a vert. We got the mag already. We'll go with a compensator. We'll go with a hollow, and we'll go with the tac stock, right? And I'm gonna spawn an ace here. Alright, so I have myself an ace. I'm going to drop this M4. Let's go ahead and... Alright, drop my M4. Cool, so I'm rocking with the ace, right? I'm duking it out, and maybe mid-game, I do see the weapon I want. Oh my, an M4, great, right? This is how beautiful this is. You can notice that they pretty much have the same amount of attachments, right? So what I can do is I can pick up that M4. Let me go ahead and drop this. I got my Kar 98, right? I can go ahead and pick up that M4, and immediately all my stuff is there. Then it's just a quick boom, drop my 7.62, pick up whatever 5 is available, and I'm ready to rock. I already got the gun I wanted, and I can continue, and I don't have to waste a second. Quickness, very quick moves, and being cognizant enough to know what fits with what gun and what your inventory ratios look like will save you a ton of time, make you a little more efficient, and hopefully get you that win a little bit quicker.